But today we're going to learn about another one of the vessels in the Holy Temple. In the Holy Temple. Now we've already learned about the outer altar. The altar that was on the outside. We learned about that, where they sacrificed the sacrifices. And we learned about the menorah that was on the inside. Let's see, when we find pictures of that, not so necessary, but we learned yesterday, right? Yesterday and the day before. Here's a picture of the menorah, pretty good picture, right? With the steps going up to it. The steps were a little bit closer, but good, that's going up to it. Now the menorah was on the left side as the coin went into the holy, and this table was on the right side. Now, this is not an accurate picture of the table. The table looked like this. That's what it looked like. I don't know. I sometimes I just really wonder, how these people got the idea to write. I mean, if they're going to do it, so why not look at the books? Okay, here we have a picture of the table. Here was another one. See, the table, and then they have these poles. I don't know why they do it. Anyway, we're going to see about Rashi. Let's see. Do we have a picture of the temple? We don't need it. All right, there was on the right side, as you went into the holy, there was a double table, a table like this, that had two stacks of bread. And the breads were separated. Each one had its little plate that it was on. So really the picture, the way it looked, was like this. And we're going to see the Rambam. I don't know why they have these poles over here. They have accurate pictures, poles, and this. It looked like this. This is the way it looked here. Here we have another. This is a good picture of it also. Okay, how did it look? It was a table. The table was, let's say, about 4 feet high. And then on top of it were these plates. 4 plates. 1 plate here, 1 plate there. 1 plate here, 1 plate there. Same on both sides. See, plate. Don't look at these other pictures because it's not accurate like this. And these plates had little holes in them. There were 2 holes in the top. You can't see it here. 2 holes here on both sides. 3 holes here, 3 holes here, 3 holes here, 3 holes here. Altogether, how many? And then there was the table. So how many holes do we have? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. That's how many holes there were. In these holes were inserted poles that were half. They looked like U's, like the bottom half of a pole. It was inserted. And on these poles were put these breads. Now the breads were called face breads. They were really weird shaped. They were shaped like this sort of weird U. I guess, I don't know how they got this picture, but anyway, it was something like this, but these things were up. Here, let's see, there was a picture over here we had before. Where was it? 1 minute. 1 minute. Oh, here it is. See, bread looked like this. Those are what the breads looked like. And they were called face breads because they had all these faces to them. And lechem hapanim. So how many of these lechem hapanims were there? There were 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. These plates were made of gold. And they had these 14 holes in them here because they were put all the way through. There would be these 14 golden half pipes that would go through. So it ends up that there were 28 pipes, 14 of them here and 14 of them here. How do I get 14? 1, 2. There was on this side there was 1 pipe that went through here, 2. Then there was 3 holes here. So the 3 pipes here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. And there was another one on the table, on this table. So this whole business over here, this was like about, I don't know, 6, 7 feet high, this whole thing, from here to here, in this post. And then there were 2 rings on the sides that they could be carried. In the desert, of course, they used it to carry. In the Holy Temple, it wasn't carried. There was, as far as I remember, there was still the rings. As far as I know, there were still the rings. The pools were there. So that's what it looked like. Good. Pretty simple. Not that difficult. What's the purpose of these breads? It says the breads would sit there the whole week. On Shabbat, they would change the breads. They would bring new breads, and they would eat the old breads. The old breads had been there for 1 week, and they were still soft. Interestingly enough, also, these breads, it was 1 tefach, like a handbreadth high. Oh, maybe that was the picture over here. Oh, that was the picture of the fist. Oh, yeah, that's the size of a tefach. That's what I understand. Anyway, like as we didn't know it, it says, as if we didn't know what a fast is. Okay. So that's how high it was, and it was soft. The bread was soft. It would remain fresh for 1 full week. The Kohanim would eat it. And this, it says, this was provided blessing and sustenance for the whole entire world. These 12 loaves of bread. And there are some Jews and that used to have 12 loaves of bread on their Shabbat table. I don't think it's much of a custom in Chabad, but it's a very nice thing. They would bring 12 loaves of bread on their table every Shabbat in the nighttime. The wife would bring 12. And of course, I might as well tell you the story, famous story, Baal Shem Tov story, that there was a man, a simple man, and he heard that they would bring these loaves of bread to the Holy Temple, and that there was a sustenance for the whole world. So he went home and he asked his wife to bake 12 loaves of bread, and he would bring it to the synagogue. He would offer it up to God. Synagogue is like a place for God. So we went to this is in the time of the Arizal, like about 400 years ago. He was a simple person, so his wife baked the bread, and she put it in the Aron HaKodesh, where they have the Sefer Torah. He would go in there every Erev Shabbat. There was nobody there. The place had just been cleaned. And no one was there. Everyone's at home preparing for Shabbat. And he would put these 12 loaves of bread in the Aron HaKodesh, the place where they keep the Sefer Torah, in the front of the synagogue. There's a veil over it, and it's very nice. Usually they make it very, very nice, ornamented. Anyway, the caretaker, the shamash, he would come in, to make the last minute changes, and he would smell this really good aroma coming from the Aron. He would open up, there was 12 loaves of bread. So he would take them out, and he would eat them, take them home, and he would eat them. And so it was, that's what he would do. And he even told the Rav, he went to the rabbi, and he asked him what to do. Here's these breads are there. The rabbi said, I don't know, somebody must have brought them. Who would keep them over there? Take them home, and we'll see if anybody complains. And nobody complained. What really did happen, the man would come back on Shabbat. When everybody would go home, they would pray in the evening, and everyone would go home. He would, like the fellow who brought the bread in the first place, he would go up to the ark, pull the veil aside, open up the door. He would see that the breads were gone. He'd think, well, God accepted my offering. And so it went on for a long time. And one day, this man, the rabbi, was giving a lecture about bringing the breads to the ark. And he said to the rabbi, that there's such a thing nowadays. I bring these breads to the synagogue, and I put them in here, and God accepts them. And the rabbi took him aside and said, "You fool! Don't you? What do you? The sexton takes this. Nobody knew who the breads belonged to. It's been already 3-4 months. He's been eating them. What do you think? God really accepts these offerings? Don't be so simple." So the man said, "Oh, okay." The Arizal sent for the rabbi. The rabbi came to the Arizal was Rabbi Yitzchak Luria, tremendously holy person, knew everything in the Torah, knew all the secrets of the Torah. The rabbi said, yes. He said, go home, prepare your will, prepare your funeral shrouds, because tomorrow you're dead. So what? Why? What's going on? Did I do something wrong? Or maybe my time has just come. It's no, you were supposed to live another, who knows, 50 years, but because this person had simple faith and he brought these breads in and you wrecked his simple faith. You saw his simple faith that he was said to you that God accepts my offering. You could have said to him, yes, you're right, God accepts your offering, but I don't think you should bring these offerings anymore. Give him some excuse because it's not good for the Torah. Maybe it leaves little crumbs and rats come there or something. Make something the excuse. Why did you have to wreck up his simple faith? Therefore, it's been decreed from heaven that's how you have to leave the world. So, in other words, this what we're learning about here. I'm not threatening anybody here, God forbid. What we are saying is this: it requires a certain amount of simple faith. Just the fact. I mean, come on, God really needs these 12 loaves of bread in the Holy Temple. That's what the Holy Temple is for. The Holy Temple should have been just this big empty room where everyone just went there and felt the gloriness and the radiance, the glory and the radiance of the Lord. But that's not what it was. The Holy Temple was very, very active, and there was a lot of details in it. And one of them was these 12 loaves of bread that have to be put over here. Can we look at the Rambam? Maybe we'll have a look at the Rambam. Okay, let's take a look. Come on. Have a look at the Rambam. Here we go. Here's the Maimonides, right? So it says, the shulchan, the table, that's the table we just talked about with the, one second, making a mistake. 1 minute,